Welcome once again to the Damon Floyd Coaches Show here on Talk 101.3 The Buzz, where all of our shows are brought to you by LB Appliance out there. See Josh and his crew out there on Durkee Road. If you need anything at all in the world of appliances, repair, to purchase one, just check them out there. They're great Bear fans. We appreciate their continued support of Bradley football. Being joined now by Coach Damon Floyd. Damon, first thing, congratulations, big win, 9th in a row over those guys across town, 9th in a row for the season. The new ground for you as a head coach. We got to 8-0 on you there, but what a big win, and what about the crowd? Huge crowd. We had more people than almost anybody we played, and we had more over there Friday night. Just a great environment, great atmosphere, and a huge win, a region win on the road.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Is it's another region win. Obviously, anytime you play Cleveland, anything you get a win, it's exciting. But we talk about this all the time. Is there's not many kids in high school that get to play in the environments that we do. Not only at Cleveland, but also Walker Valley, McMinn, Maryville. Yeah. Like there's so many good environments, and obviously I think when you play Cleveland, it's the best, whether it's here or there, because there's just so much community support on both sides. So, great opportunity for our guys to go out and display a lot of hard work, and they're players too.
Yeah.
You know, our guys. You see it at JV games and after the game on Friday night. Our guys are friends with their guys. They grew up together.
Right.
They play with each other in different, youth leagues and middle schools, and so in the end, it's a great community event. And fortunately, we were able to come out on top.
Well, and I thought the crowd and the players themselves had motions running control. We didn't have anything that you don't want to see out there. Have you ever had a team that scored more points than ran plays? Because we scored 36 points and had 35 snaps. That's insane to think about that. But.
Yeah, and didn't realize it until after the game. I think we had 12 offensive plays in the first half, and like you said, 35 total for the game. So to average more than a point a play, it was pretty impressive. And we really felt like, we got down there on the 1 yard line and had a quarterback sneak. I'm still not sure what the penalty was, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But we ended up throwing interceptions. So if we'd have got there, then it would have been really nice on the amount of points you scored per play. But just really happy the way we executed. We kind of panicked, to be honest, because we didn't expect them to hold the ball like that in the huddle. I mean, we've had it in previous games, but against Cleveland, it's like, let's go. That intensity's flowing a little bit more, if we're being honest. And so we kind of panicked a little bit on the sideline, especially me, because we were trying to push the tempo.
Yeah.
And then after the game, you look at the stat sheet, and it's like, oh. But as well as I do that every time. I'm such a knee-jerk reaction guy. And then I settle down and look at things like, well, we played pretty good.
Yeah, it looked good. And what about the game that Caleb Martin? And I'm telling you what, I'll have to read his off here. 6 of 10 passing, 130 yards and a touchdown, and he had a pick. He rushed 137 yards and had 3 scores himself. 2-point conversion pass to Zane McIntosh when we were behind 7-0. We took the lead and never trailed after that. And recovered an onside kick, punted twice for 55 and 42 yards. Mm-hmm. And he probably one of the biggest plays of the game, I thought, was 4th and short in our territory.
Yep.
And we're only 2 points up, 15-13. We gamble, go for it, and he rips off 13-yard gain, and that set it up. I mean, goodness gracious, what else can the guy do?
Well, he also played defense.
Yes, yes, he did. Yeah.
What we call a victory, when you're up a certain amount of points and time's left on the clock. So he went in and played linebacker on defense. So. That 4th down that we talked about, that you talked about was I was going to punt, and I'm going to be honest. The reason I did not punt is because Jackson Wilson came to the sideline, and I'll just put it this way: he was very animated on getting the first down. That we can get it. And Jackson said, "Let Caleb run behind me. I'll block for him. He'll get the first down." And that's why I called timeout. And in the end, players got to make the plays, and they felt very confident in it. And those guys are captains, so. That's what changed. It wasn't a coaching decision; it was a player decision. Caleb's game was one we kind of been waiting on. To be honest, we felt like there was some games that probably didn't have to run him as much. Mm-hmm. We did run him a lot in Maryville. We knew against Cleveland we were going to have to run him a lot, and they were giving us 5-man box on defense because they were spread out with our receivers. So you put our running back, which Jay Allen and Jackson did a really good job. They were unselfish. They went and blocked. Mm-hmm. Caleb's running. That's 7-on-5. I know people were asking, why are you running your quarterback so much? Well, you got 7 people versus 5 in a D1 athlete's hands. Until they change, we weren't going to change. We were going to keep running him, and he obviously did a great job.
That's pretty good ratio there, 7-on-5 or 5-on-7 there and everything. But defensively, we had a couple of breakdowns that cost us there. After watching the film, what were they doing that's getting those guys up? Like the one that number 1 ran 89 yards. I mean, we bid on something that.
Like the pass play?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I will say this. That's the one play Marcus, he cramped up the play before and had to come out, and that's his responsibility.
Oh, okay.
And then, you get in there for one play on defense, and you're aggressive. You're wanting to go make a play, and so whoever went in overreacted a little bit, but they executed.
Yeah, they did.
Michael Jordan, man, I don't know if we've seen a better football player
He's good.
as an opponent. He can play.
Yeah.
And we knew that going in. And we've faced him for 4 years now. So you got to give them credit on some things. And they did some things well and executed when times that we didn't. But on the flip side, we executed things that they didn't throughout the game. And the bottom line is you want to execute more than the opponent. And I thought in the end we did that.
Everybody wants to know, did Boo score the touchdown there on that long 69-yard pass play
Yes.
that he had? And
Yes.
and it's on film, it's on still shots. Everybody's talking about that. And a 5-man crew, they use Chattanooga refs, a 5-man crew versus an 8-man crew. I understand that he might have outrun the guy, the official, and the official really couldn't spot it. He was just guessing when he saw him fall. Is that the case on that one?
I guess so. The bottom line is Boo had an unbelievable catch, an unbelievable run. You get on the 1-yard line, whether he scores or not, it's your job as an offense to go in and score.
And we did.
And we did. So, I can tell you this. I don't think Boo cares if he scored the touchdown or not as long as we scored. And he's as unselfish as they come, as good and talented as he is. So, the bottom line is, like I said, the Bradley scored, and that's what's most important.
Yeah, and you mentioned he's unselfish. The whole team seems to be playing that way. They rejoice when anybody scores, no matter who it is, or makes a big play defensively, whatever, and it's got to be a joy for you to coach that way. But it's been a 9-0 run. How's it feel? Start the year that way.
It's all about Bearden at this point. If we're being honest, we don't have time to think about the past. It's over with.
Right.
We got to move on, and I do think our team's done a good job of each week. Hey, it's over. Let's move on. Let's get our heads straight and worry about the opponent, because the one coming up is the best team we've faced all year. So happy to get the win, but ready for Bearden. To prepare for Bearden, I should say.
And we're going to dive into Bearden here when we return here on Talk 101.3 The Buzz. I'll take this break for L&B Appliance, and we'll come back and we'll talk about Bearden. And it is going to be one well of a challenge, folks. We'll talk about that. Welcome back to the Damon Floyd Coach Show here on Talk 101.3 The Buzz, brought to you each week by L&B Appliance. We've played the Bulldogs, not a lot, 10 times. We lead them 6-4 in the series. Josh Jones, their coach now, is in his second season. Their old coach, Morgan Schinliver, got kicked up into the AD position, so he's there and take care of things there. And people say, well, hey, they've lost 2 games. Bradley's 9-0. Bradley should roll. Well, wait a minute. Look who they played. Defending 5A state champions. On the road, first game of the year. Then defending 3A state champions, Alcoa, on the road. Lost both games by 4 points each.
And we're leading both with a minute to go in each game.
And I'm telling you, they're not as veteran as we are. I've seen on their roster 5 senior starters on offense and 5 on defense, unless that has shifted in the last week or so. And we've got 3- and 4-year starters all over the place out there in a very big senior class. What concerns you the most about them? Because I read and I keep seeing they like to run the ball, and they got a massive front line that weighs about 290-pound average, massive. 3 guys over 300 pounds.
Well, you just mentioned it. That's what worries me. we had an interview yesterday because the game's going to be on TV, but they came down and did a little pregame and asked me the same question. And this is what I'd say about Bearden. It's everything you want in a football team. They got size, they have speed, they're physical, and they're very well coached. So a lot of people talk about our talent that we have, and we have talent. We're not denying that. They have talent. They have multiple Power 5 guys. The running back who's been out all year, maybe he played 2 or 3 games, I can't remember exactly, but he's committed to Purdue. Well, he's back. Well, the one that's been running it, he's got SEC offers.
Yep.
So now you got 2 guys that are Power 5 guys. They got an offensive lineman that just came back last week, 6'6", 300, that he's got offers from Penn State, Tennessee. They got a DB that's got SEC offers. So they're as talented as a team we have seen, and to be honest, they're probably the most physical team we have seen. So it's an extremely hard challenge, but it's like I told our guys yesterday, it's senior night, week 10, chance to win a region championship. We knew it was going to be a good team, and it should be a good team you got to beat in those situations. So bottom line is we got to dig down deep, and we got to find a way to just battle and hopefully have a chance at the end.
Well, it couldn't set itself up any better than the 2 best teams are going to play in the final game of the year, unbeaten in the region, ranked number 1 in the state. And what else could you ask for in a big match like your senior night? I mean, so much. Is your phone, is it as busy for you this week as it was last week with the Cleveland game? Or?
No, Cleveland's different.
Yeah.
Cleveland's different. And probably upset some people last week just because after Tuesday, I just declined every interview.
Yeah.
Like I can't handle it, just to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I don't know how those college coaches do it. I know they have a lot more, but at one point I just set my phone down and said, I'm not doing it anymore. And, it's time consuming and it wears on you. But this week's got some hype now. It's not Cleveland, but there's been a lot of requests.
Oh, yeah.
So that's part of the job. I get it, but we just need to focus on Bearden.
Well, as you've said many times, you can't win the game in the first quarter. You have to win every rep. If you win every rep, take care of business, and execute what we can do, then we should be okay there. But we can't make mistakes. You miss every game. Stop the penalties, which we had way too many of both sides last Friday.
Yeah, there was 7 of them that it's hard to deal with. So.
Yeah, and we'll have an 8-man crew this week too, though.
Yes.
So that maybe help there. We sat in the press box last week by a couple of your coaches, 3 of your coaches actually there, and the enthusiasm, intensity, and emotion, excitement. I mean, I don't know if they're like that every game, but boy, they were bringing that press box down, and it was great to be there that close and just see how they reacted to the good stuff and the bad stuff.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Those guys, the coaches, they put a lot of time and effort into it,
do.
and it means a lot to them. And I think our whole staff's very passionate about what we do, and winning's a byproduct of what we do throughout the year, over the years, over the course of time. So it means a lot to them, and we want our kids to be successful. You talk about enthusiasm by our coaches. Daniel Hearn's always that way. Yeah. He ain't changing. Now, Todd Burkhart, if he gets excited, something's probably really happened, good or bad, to get him
Believe me,
going.
he was excited Friday night.
So it's funny. I wish we had video camera on him because he's opposite of me, but it works out for us because he's just even keel, and of course I'm high strung. So, but I wish we had a camera on it.
It was fun to be there that close to him. Another Thursday game.
Yeah.
This is a switch for a lot of reasons. TV mainly, I guess.
Yes.
The Knoxville rivalry, Thursday rivalry. Want to come down and do that? Do you know how many Thursday games you've played?
No idea.
16.
16.
You're 12-4. We've won 5 in a row Thursday with you as our coach. But overall, here's what's going to blow your mind. I look back in my book and count all this up. We've played over 100 games on Thursday night in our history. 100. Not many since in the last, what I call the modern age, I guess you say, but the most notable one was the 76 championship game on Thanksgiving Day. That was a Thursday game there, too. So, hey, let's play Thursday all the time, We like that.
Well, I like it, but
I know you do.
Our coaches are pretty mad at me right this week because they wanted more time to prepare, and coming off Cleveland, it is an emotional roller coaster. So, but it is what it is. Bearden's got to get ready, too. It's a short week. And the good thing is we're both in the playoffs next week, and we get an extra day to prepare or to rest and then prepare. So, at this point in the season, I don't know how much practice is. I mean, we all want to have good practices, but how much does it really help you at this point? I don't know. What we are is what we are. We ain't changing a lot this week.
You can't do it now. probably can't do it at all, can you?
Yeah, it is what it is.
You be out scouting somewhere Friday night, or are you going to just stay home and look at video?
You know, it probably depends on how Thursday goes.
Oh, okay.
If we get beat, I'll probably lay in my house and just pout and cry, and if we win, maybe we'll go somewhere.
Well, we're going to wrap things up here on Talk 101.3 for L&B Appliances. Coach's show every week. It's always fun to get his thoughts and talk about things that happened, things that should have happened or whatever, good, bad, and ugly. But it's going to be fun. It's a Thursday game, 7 o'clock kickoff, senior night, folks. We need you there for that and support the Bears. And I think we're going to have a great crowd. I mean, both teams. I think Beard's going to bring a ton of folks. I think we'll have our great crowd always. And if you have to buy a ticket, you better get it early and not have to stand in line.
Yeah, and I'd say with it being Thursday night, you may see some, other schools that are not playing.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say there'll be some.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great high school football game to watch, not just because we're involved in it, but if I wasn't coaching, this would be a game I would come to because you're going to see a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Beard
moved up to number 5 this week in the rankings. The Bears hang on to number 1 for, I think, 8 straight weeks. So that's going to wrap it up here on Talk 101.3. Tune in 5:30 for our pregame Thursday night. If you're already hearing this, you know it's Thursday night. And be there and support the Bears. Thanks, Mr. Winsford and his crew back here in our studio here at Bradley Central. We appreciate their help all year long. Till next time, God bless and go Bears.